Katie Piper, Linda Robson, and Joanna Page.
What a welcome. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your Thursday Loose Women. Coming up, as Ollie Murs returns to work just days after his daughter was born, we're asking if there's too much pressure on partners to get back to work after having a baby. And we've got a couple of great guests today. He's a shoulder to cry on for Lord Alan Sugar's fired candidates, and he's actually related to a loose woman. We've got a surprise, we've got a surprise from her later on when we talk to comedian Tom Allen at 12:45. And at 1:15, rumours of a reunion sent fans into meltdown earlier this year, didn't it, Joe? So what, if anything, actually is, wait for it, Joe, occurring?
Oh, very good.
Thank you very much. Well, a little bit more enthusiasm would be good, audience. You know. Anyway, we'll be finding out more when we reunite Gavin and Stacey co-stars Joe and Larry Lamb later on. Really looking forward to that. Now, some of the big shopping centres have already done it, but there are calls to ban ski masks and balaclavas in all public places, as people say they're often intimidated and it makes it easier to commit crimes. When I saw this earlier on this week, it resonated just because when I was on my way to work on Tuesday over at the News, I go in at Waterloo Station, and as I was walking towards the bus stop, I noticed two bikes come in front of me, and I looked up and I realised that the people that were on the bikes looked young and the bikes were a lot bigger. They were far too big for them. So I thought, something's not right. Then I looked up and I realised that they were wearing balaclavas. Now, living in London, loads of cyclists do wear balaclavas because it protects them from the cold air. But it's very rare to see it on younger cyclists. It's like something doesn't seem right. And I'm really annoyed with myself because I said, it doesn't seem right because I know what they're about to do. I was like, the likelihood is that they're going to try and steal somebody's phone. So I was like, I need to take a picture and didn't. And then they turned a corner and about 20 seconds later, I heard a woman scream.
Oh, no.
And they had stolen her phone. And so I don't know, when it comes to balaclavas, lots of people wear them. Of course they do, but I had a sense, because when you live in London, you understand what mobile phone theft and, you know, the levels at which and the frequency at which it happens. And so I knew that something was going to happen, but it was because of something didn't seem right, and it didn't seem right, you know, what I was seeing. And I just felt really bad that I didn't take a picture of it, to be honest.
Don't feel bad, because I think, you know, it happens in seconds. So by the time you'd got your phone out, unlocked it, took the picture. And, you know, they have CCTV image on the street, so don't blame yourself. I think you've done the right thing, offering your support afterwards and, you know, calling...
Yeah, I called the police.
So don't blame yourself.
No, I just want people to be safe. You know, when it comes to your phones, don't use them on the pavements. I can't stress that enough. But there's a part of me that does understand that some people find the balaclava thing sinister. It's not something that I find sinister. We went through years of people wearing masks and didn't find that sinister. Yeah. So I think sometimes we have to recognise what other people say we should be afraid of and make our own judgment calls.
Yeah, I kind of get... So, like, I'm thinking when, you know, how I grew up in, say, like, 80s and 90s, there would be those big stickers on the petrol station window, no bicycle helmet, remove the face covering. And that was the only face covering we were familiar with, probably bike helmets, and that was just normal. No one covered their face, apart from Michael Jackson. That was the only person that ever covered their face. Yeah. Or, you know, religious or cultural reasons. And then I think the pandemic normalised seeing people in surgical masks, makeshift masks, balaclavas, ski masks. That actually probably wasn't that intimidating or out of the norm. So I don't think we should ban them, because I think following on from the pandemic, there are people that have been left with social anxiety who actually found a comfort in covering their face, having a bit of a barrier and not having to communicate in crowds. And I think you take that choice away from them. So I think it's important to let people choose what they wear and how they wear it.
Well, my mum said... after COVID.
Yeah.
He doesn't wear a mask anymore, but she said she used to quite enjoy wearing the mask. And I was like, are you serious? And she said, yeah. She said, I used to feel just having something just there across my face made me feel a bit sort of protected.
Yeah.
And you don't always have to smile or put on a face or talk to anybody. I just felt a bit sort of protected. And I said, well, you're not going to carry on wearing one, are you? And she's not, thank goodness. So that's good. But I do think taking the choice out of wearing something, just banning something. I mean, where's the line then? What do you keep on banning?
And I think, and I follow your socials, Katie, and I remember you posting up something about a British rapper who does wear a face covering, and a lot of that is to do with his disfigurement.
Yeah, I mean, people might have some kind of facial disfigurement, a burn injury, whatever it is, that for some reason they might want a day off, and that constitutes as a day off. Having it. But I think also if you ban something, if somebody's doing a legal activity anyway, they're not going to be bothered if something's banned, they're still going to wear it. So I'm not sure it's much of a deterrent to ban it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Now, something completely different now. Would you use your internet search history to find love? It's what some singletons are doing in Japan, combining traditional matchmaking with artificial intelligence that uses someone's online data to find them a partner. So, Katie, I'm trying to think of the question to ask you. Would your online search history have found you your husband?
Not these days, because I checked my history before I came on the show, and it was like, how much Calpol can I give to a 6-year-old? And does Tesco Express shut at 4 on a Sunday? So I'm not sure I would have been swamped with offers by would-be suitors.
Would you find a suitor through their online search history, Linda?
Me?
Yeah.
Are you joking? I don't even know about online search history.
Let's check her history now.
If I am Googling something, it's normally about the weather that day. It's like, what's the weather going to be like today? So I know if I'm going to be miserable or if I'm going to be happy.
OK. We might find a match if we find someone that's got a similar search
we'll
history.
try it later, me and you, yeah?
What's your... can you remember the last thing you Googled?
Oh, my gosh, I don't think this would have got me a boyfriend or a husband. It's a big one, so just be ready. The last thing I searched was when I got in to work this morning, and it's the protein bars give you diarrhoea. It's a long one, right? I thought...
OK, Joe, we need to get the context, babes. You've got to get the context.
Well, I've got 4 children, and getting up in the morning with the baby and then 3 children to get into school is a lot to be doing with.
Oh, yeah.
But I've thought to myself, I want to start eating healthier. So I can't do boiled eggs, I can't do this, that and the other, because it's just such a rush getting them all into school. What can I do that's practical? OK, I thought, right, I'll get these smoothies, these protein smoothies, which are like an iced coffee sort of flavour. They've not arrived yet, which is annoying. So this morning I just had to have a normal iced coffee. And then I thought, a protein bar, get a good protein bar. They're supposed to be good to tide you over. I did my research online, found what I thought was the best one, didn't read any ingredients or anything, just thought it's good. So this morning, woke up, had an iced coffee and a protein bar, and I live about 2 hours away, so got into the car. Within half an hour of going, to say that I was in extreme pain and panic is an understatement. I've read somewhere that you've got pressure points in your hands, and so for the entire journey, because I'd closed my eyes, and I woke up just as it said services and an arrow, and we'd just gone past, and I knew there weren't any more. So I was like, right, OK, you're in this for the long haul, this could get awful. And so I just pressed in there for ages.
And you're in the back of the car?
In the back of the car. It's not even my own
just
car.
butt clench, not pressure points.
And we'd gone past the point of back clenching. I mean, it was like we'd gone past the point. Pinched my thumb like this for 2 solid hours. And then as we got towards the studio, he said, we're not far now, it's OK. So goodness knows
Were
what
you,
I
like,
must have looked
sweating and panicking?
Oh, my gosh, I was in so much pain. Sweating, panicking, taking deep breaths. I got to the point where I was looking and I was thinking about just jumping out and going down a side street. Because I was just like, there's nothing was open.
Need a balaclava for that.
Got to the studio. I should have had a balaclava. Got to the studio, thought, I hope I don't see any of the women, because I'm not talking to anyone now. Rushed in, got to the dressing room, bang, slammed the door, and exploded. So, turns out, they've got laxative effects.
So what you then Googled to figure out what the problem is, what was it exactly you searched for?
Do protein bars give you diarrhoea? And it turns out that they've got certain things in them that they do, because they have a laxative effect. Well, I'm not using them anymore.
No.
Just eat proper food.
I would definitely suggest you throw them out when you get home, my love. That's not where you expecting that story to go, were you? No. Right, still to come with children as young as 13 using chat apps to stay in touch. We're asking if these online messages are fueling mean behaviour. And after the break, he comforts Lord Sugar's cast-offs and he's related to a loose woman.
Is it?
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, Gloria.
There we go. That's who he's related to. The wonderful Tom Allen will be joining us next. We'll see you soon. Now, welcome back. Before we carry on with today's show, we wanted to pay tribute to Samantha Davis, wife of Warwick, who sadly died at the age of 53. Warwick has released a statement about his loss, saying, "Her passing has left a huge hole in our lives as a family. I miss her hugs. She was a unique character, always seeing the sunny side of life. She had a wicked sense of humour and always laughed at my bad jokes." Now, both Warwick and Samantha were friends of the show, so we're sending all our love to the family today. So much love. Well, still to come, rumours of another reunion sent fans into a frenzy. So will they or won't they? We'll be finding out more when we reunite Stacey with her father-in-law, Mick.
You look so young!
That's our Joanna with Larry Lamb. And 6 years ago, Ollie Murs said this on our show.
Yeah, of course. I'd love to be a dad. I really would.
Have you thought about it?
Yeah, I was ready at like 30 to have kids. But it's just meeting the right person, isn't it? And I was saying off air, you know, I think it's important. I just want to meet the right person to do it right. You know, I don't want to have a sort of a dysfunctional household. I don't want it to be a mess. I don't want to just have a baby and it not to work out with the partner that I'm with. I think I want it to be special and be amazing. I want to be there and have a great family. That's what I've got at home.
Well, his wish has come true, as he announced yesterday that he and his wife Amelia have welcomed a baby girl. I love those leaving hospital pictures. And he's already back at work touring with Take That. So is there too much pressure on dads, on partners even, to get back to work after having a baby? Someone in the audience goes, yes! But we'll be discussing it as well later. But it's competition time now and the clocks are ticking as lines close in just over 24 hours. Today we've got all the prizes right here in the studio. So Jenny, what have you got for us?
Oh, just you wait to see what I've got for you. This is the cupboard, or as we're calling it, the Loose Ladies Prize Palace. It's filled with stuff, but first and foremost, part of the prize is an amazing £72,000. If you had 72 grand in cash, what would you do with it? You could do whatever you want. You could spend it, or you could save it. And what's more, we also have 8 grand in tech. All of this could be yours. So you'll be the queen of the kitchen with all the Ninja stuff. You could be the queen of the cleaning with all the Shark products. There's Apple gadgets. There's a voucher for £1,000 for John Lewis. It could all be yours. And remember that 72 grand cash as well. Now, here's the thing. If you would like the chance to win it all, and quite frankly, who wouldn't, then you have to bear in mind that the lines are closing tomorrow at 3. So you want to know how to enter? Here are the details.
For another chance to win, text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY12 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close tomorrow at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with that. And by the way, there is still time to enter. Don't forget it. And as I'm here in the studio, I thought, well, the studio audience need a little treat, don't they? Stay tuned. I'll tell you what that is very shortly.
Oh, I didn't hear what she was giving the studio audience. Oh, it's a surprise. Oh, right. Well, I hope whatever. Let's hope it's protein bars. Yeah. Now,
there ain't enough toilets in here.
We'll find them. Now, he mops up the tears of Lord Alan Sugar's rejected candidates. Stop laughing, Katie. As the hilarious host of The Apprentice, You're Fired. And he's also related to a loose woman. Before we speak to Tom Allen, here's a preview of tonight's Apprentice final.
Winning this investment would be an absolute dream come true. I never thought a few years ago I'd be capable of doing something like this. To actually have reached the final is just absolutely incredible.
There were times throughout the process, after losing every week, that I really was doubting whether I'd ever make it to the final. But here we are today. My whole life will be turned upside down for me and my family if I win this.
The tension. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Tom Allen.
Thank you very much. I didn't know what to wear. Oh,
You know what? I was going to say, I feel, I mean, I don't feel underdressed because I'm also in a suit. But I imagine everywhere you go, everyone feels underdressed compared to you. You're always impeccable.
That's what I try and do, make everybody feel bad. Oh, no, you look lovely. No, I like wearing suits because my dad always said to me, clothes aren't about how you look, they're about how they make you feel. And I think that's... so that's why I just like the feeling.
Does it make you feel like in charge? I feel in charge.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm bossing it today. I should run a bank or something today.
Go
I reckon I do well.
Why not?
Talking of money, obviously we're at the end, coming to the end of The Apprentice.
Yes.
Now, I know you're not allowed to tell us anything about what happens in tonight's episode, but who's your money on?
Lord Sugar. Always. I think there's such... Well, they've all been brilliant candidates this season, and they've been absolutely amazing. They've all worked so hard. When they come in to see us, they're basically exhausted, and they've been through such a real kind of experience with it. So we try and make it a celebration of who they all are. And we've been so lucky. They've been wonderful, really lovely.
I bet it's quite an emotional roller coaster, though, because you're seeing losers all the time.
Everywhere I go. Well, they are... They haven't won, let's say that, but they're good people. And I always say, you know, being in that process is so difficult because they're locked up in that house, basically.
No phone.
No phone. And they've all got to share...
Do they really have no phone?
When do they take the phone away from them?
So they have them on the task, but then, you know, for certain... When they speak to each other, but they can't just, like, Google things. Like, I understand some of you like to Google things. And,
You Google.
I like to Google antiques and
suits.
And suits, yeah, antique suits, actually, Linda. And yes, yeah, whatever's going through my mind.
Would that have got you your husband back in the day?
What, an antique?
Googling antiques and suits.
Is he an antique?
He's younger than me, actually.
Oh.
But he's not an antique. But we're not married either. We're not married. Yes. There he is. Oh, he'll like that. He'll be very excited about that.
Are you his stylist? He looks dashing.
He's stylish as well.
Yeah.
But yes, I imagine he'll probably be in a tracksuit watching this at home. Right? Sorry, why did we come on to that? The conversation here goes all over the place.
Now, haven't we?
Yes, phones on The Apprentice. What about the task? You know, when they have to... Because I always think, oh, my gosh, how do they not know what they're looking for? And is it because they can't look anything up on a phone?
They can't just Google things. Yeah, they can't just look at Google Maps and go, oh, where am I? Where do I need to go? So they have to sort of act on their instinct. So
I do have to say that other search engines are available.
The other ones. We all use them. Bing, that's one. I always love the Bing things.
Do you have a lot of sympathy for them? Do you end up getting your favourites and feeling really sorry?
Well, I like having a chat with all of them because I think a lot of people, can be quite judgy and can be quite like, oh, look at them making their mistakes, they're so stupid.
We don't know about being judgy.
Yes, exactly. Nobody here would ever be judgy, I know. But, you know, I always say, you know, at least these guys are getting up and they're doing it, you know, so you can't fault someone for trying.
But a really cool thing that you did about a year ago was you did DNA stories, didn't you?
Yes.
And you realised that you are related to our Gloria.
Yes, Gloria Excelsis Day.
So how many removed or whatever are you?
About 47 cousins, I think.
This is a tenuous thing, isn't it?
No, they did it through the ancestry system, and it turned out that she'd somehow found her cousin's DNA was there, and so then it linked up with me, and my grandfather was from Northern Ireland, so it made sense.
God.
But then my grandmother was from Southern Ireland, so I'm not exactly sure where it fit in exactly, but...
Well, unfortunately, she's not on the panel today,
not today.
but she has sent you a message.
Oh, my goodness!
Not that long ago, I was asked to do a piece of film, and near where I live in Kent, they took me by car to this place. I didn't know who I was meeting, but it turned out that I was meeting a cousin whom I didn't know anything about. And it turned out to be the multi-talented Tom Allen. And he's marvellous. But you know something? He never invites me in his show, even though he is my cousin, removed. But we've invited him in this show, so he's going to be in Loose Women. Say hi, Tom.
She got me there, didn't she? That's the thing with Gloria. I can tell that Gloria is related to me and my family, because my family, I like Gloria, they talk a lot. Yeah. And bless, like when she came in, she was coming on as a guest, she just started presenting it. Like the DNA Journey show doesn't have... She walked in and she was like, well, welcome here, we're going to go and meet my cousin. Gloria, there's no presenter on the show, it's just got a voiceover. But she couldn't be stopped. I imagine she's somewhere out in Kent right now, presenting something in the middle of a field. There's no cameras, just presenting. But I'd love to work with her, actually. I'd love to work with her one day.
I think
wonderful.
What's it like working with Lord Sugar?
You know what? The big secret about Lord Sugar...
He always looks really miserable.
No, he's not. The big secret about him is he is lovely.
Oh, is he? Yeah.
Really lovely. And he cares about... He likes the people he works with, all the candidates, and he really cares about them. And I think he gets annoyed. He's one of those people who's quite plain speaking. So, you know... I know, that's hard to imagine. But, you know, he'll say it as it is.
Yeah.
But I like people like that because you know where you stand with them.
Yeah.
But he's never unkind. He's never mean. He's just... fair. He's just fair.
Yeah,
Firm but
and
fair.
we think you're firm but fair and absolutely hilarious.
I'm quite soft, actually. Thanks for saying that. And I always think of myself as an uptight man. So to go on a loose woman is quite nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Allen. Such a joy.
Oh,
well
it's
done
lovely
for
to be here.
popping your loose women cherry. Right,
I'll never be the
also
same
coming up,
again.
we're talking about the rise of young kids using chat apps to catch up with mates and even messaging them with their phones when they're actually in the same room. And as Ollie Murs gets back on stage just days after his daughter is born, we're discussing whether there's too much pressure on partners to get back to work after having a baby. One thing's for sure, Ollie's definitely got a troublemaker on his hands now. See you after this.
Welcome to the rainforest.
To celebrate World Earth Day, Loose Women is going green with a very special show.
From the biggest indoor rainforest in the world.
To discuss if the way that we live, love, spend and socialise can help save the planet. Monday on Loose Women.
Welcome back to your Thursday Loose Women Live. Joining you this lunchtime it is Linda Robson, Joanna Page, Casey Piper and me, Charlene White. Now, we will be reuniting Joe with a Gavin and Stacey co-star Larry Lamb, but that's not, I know, look how young you are. But that's not the only reunion, as he'll also be back with Linda, who he topped the music charts with. No. I phrased that totally wrong. They didn't used to date, not like that. I mean, because you had a song, right?
Yeah,
you did like
The Children in Need.
Yeah,
song. It's called Wake Me Up.
Yeah, did it reach number one?
It got to number one, but they turned my mic down.
I am so shocked at that news, Linda. But there's lots to talk to him about, including the rumours of a return to Barry Island. But for all that, I know it's exciting. But many congratulations, firstly, though, to Ollie Murs and wife Amelia, who have welcomed a baby girl called Madison. Within hours of the announcement, Ollie revealed that he was already heading back on stage with Take That.
It's been an incredible few days. Little Madison is here. We're very, very just over the moon and just full of love. And I just wanted to just jump on here to let everyone know that he's coming to the lead show tonight. for the Take That show. I am here. It was so horrible to say goodbye to Madison this morning and Amelia, but the show must go on.
Oh, I remember this first few days of a little bubba. It's hard to be apart from them. It did get us thinking about the pressure that partners often feel to get back to work, to keep the money coming in when they have a baby. Jo, what did your other half do?
Well, James went straight back to work. I think he took a couple of days off, but with all of ours, because we're actors, so we're self-employed, we don't get paternity leave or anything. So if you're not working, you don't get paid. And I, right from the very start, I mean, the day before giving birth, I said, what if I don't love it as much as the dog? And he said, well, I'll look after it. But luckily, when she was born, I was just like, oh my God, I don't want to be anywhere away from her. And I said straight away, that's it, I'm done. I want to be with her, I'm not working. And you know, I know that he felt a pressure that I've got to bring the money and I've got to support, you know, my daughter and my wife, and so he felt that pressure, but he just had to get straight back to work. Listen to me, we had to get back to work. I wasn't working, I was with her. He just went straight back to work.
But it's you then having to do it solo. I mean, I always think, so Andy took the full paternity leave that he could get at work, which meant that he had 5 months off on paternity, because we did shared paternity with Florence. And it always upsets me that actually only 3 to 8% of workers in the UK who are eligible to take paternity leave actually take it. The rest of them don't. And I think a lot of it is they don't really understand how it works. They think it's a bit weird that men take time off for babies. But I think it's important for the entire family that everybody spends some time together. And they always try and sell it to prospective dads, prospective partners. That is the only time in your life that work will pay you to not be at work. So why would you not take that? It's ludicrous that a max of 8% of eligible couples take on that paternal leave. But Richie stayed with yours, didn't he, for a little while, because you had to go back to work?
Well, yeah, I mean, we were both in the same position. He's self-employed as a carpenter and I'm self-employed with my work. So I think it's worth acknowledging, you know, everyone's got different financial situations that either do or don't allow them to do it. And for some people, they're not working for somebody, they're not employed, they're self-employed. So that kind of affects the decision. But we both juggled it. I suppose similar with being an actor, if a job comes in, you either choose to turn it down or take it. And I actually texted Richie before I came on air and told him what we were talking about. And he was sending me some pictures from literally like day 1 or 2 with the kids. And it got me, oh, look, there he is. Like, I think that's even in the hospital, actually. And, you know, first of all, before I just looked at the baby, I was like, God, Richie had so much more hair. He looks so much younger. Less stressed. And you do sort of look back with a bit of like, oh, there's such fleeting moments. They were so tiny. And, you know, I wish I'd savoured it more, but that's hindsight of you do what you've got to do to get through those days, you juggle it. And I think for some people, looking it back, it can be painful because there isn't choice for everybody.
No, not at all.
And there's no easy way to earn money and raise a family, you know, so be kind to yourself.
How about you, Linda? What did you guys do?
Well, I was doing Birds of a Feather twice when I was pregnant, so I felt the pressure to get back to work because obviously Birds of a Feather wouldn't be the same without Tracy, would it?
No.
So I felt like I had to get back to work, but luckily enough my husband was there to look after the kids when they were born, and then my mum would share it with them as well. Or sometimes I'd bring them to work with me as well. Bring my mum and she'd look after the baby while I was working.
We all find ways to make it work, really. I don't think anyone should feel bad about going back to work. You know, it's no one else's business when you go back to work. Everybody works differently. I always say that people like to get involved in business that does not concern them. You know, just leave people alone. But a popular messaging app that most of you probably have in your phones, I'm not going to say which one, has come under fire after lowering its minimum age from 16 to 13 in the UK, with the campaigners claiming the company is putting profits before protecting children. Linda, are your grandkids addicted to their... Well, not addicted, but like being on the phone?
Well, the oldest one started secondary school now, so since she started secondary school, Lauren's got her a phone. But when she gets to school, they take the phone off of her. But then when they're around my house, the youngest one, Betsy, so she's 7, she is absolutely addicted to the phone. She goes, the first thing she says when she comes out of school is, Nan, can I have your phone?
Yeah.
And Lauren says, don't let her have the phone because they don't play games, they don't watch television with you anymore. Like we used to play cards or dominoes or whatever. But now all they want to do is be on there. And then Lauren, there's also a lot of bullying on some of these apps because when Lauren left her primary school, started secondary school, the friends that she was at primary school with started bullying Lila because she wasn't in the same school as them anymore, you know, like, so Lauren had to get involved and so.
And that's the thing. We were talking earlier, it was from the producers, and we were like, you have kids maybe sort of from 10 years old, they can all be in the same room at a sleepover or something, but all on their phones talking to each other within a group chat.
Yeah.
And I think you guys understand this. When you're on certain messaging apps, what you think you're saying to somebody, they can misconstrue it to mean something else. And that's when problems start, let alone when you're a kid, when you say something you think is innocent and the 10 other people in the chat think you think something else and the whole thing can blow up and then a bullying situation can occur. Do you think their brains are mature enough to understand that?
Aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, and also with messages that come so fast, and then you're supposed to be sending something else back really fast, so you don't really have really think too much about what you're writing. But they're so small that when you're that age, you all go through sort of being bullied, or somebody's fallen out with so and so, and then this is happening, and then that
happened when we were at school.
Well, it did, didn't it? But then add on top of that the whole thing of messages and phones, and it must be just such a huge pressure.
I think that's the thing, because when we were at school, people, you know, Chinese whispers, writing stuff on the toilet wall, but that cut off at like 3:30, you went home and you left it at school. But now it's so intense for them. I think even adults, you know, when you have instant chat messaging services that are at your fingertips, you're reactive straight away, you might be irrational, you can't judge tone in a message. So I even think it can be a bit toxic for adults as well.
I spend half my time apologising when I meet people, because I always have to say, I'm so sorry that I've not responded, and I'm so sorry I haven't sent this message back, and I was going to send something, because I don't like sending something small. I want to, you know...
I wonder why you hadn't replied to my message.
No, but what,
Joe,
what you need to do is on some of these apps, you can change the settings so that whoever's messaged you doesn't know whether you've read it or not. It takes a lot of that stress out of it.
Yes.
It's a nice
but I'm not very
boundary.
good with all the settings.
I didn't know until
either.
today that you can find out if they've read your message.
Yeah.
They get a tick or something.
They
don't
do.
So people know that I haven't been answering them.
Literally what I just
you don't want to be
literally what I just said, Linda. Are you listening to me today, Linda?
It's not going in. Oh, I don't understand technology.
No, we go to tech stuff and it's like, Right, now, after the break, rumours of another special sent fans into meltdown earlier this year. We'll be hosting our own mini reunion when Joe's co-star Larry Lamb joins us next. Don't go anywhere! Still to come, Gavin and Stacey's Larry Lamb will be reuniting with Joe in just a few minutes. But it's competition time again, and there's just 24 hours left to enter our competition. Isn't that right, Jenny?
That is correct. It's so close to you all.
It's so good to see you.
It's so nice to see you. And so nice to tell you all about this amazing prize, OK? There is £72,000 in cash. That's basically £6,000 a year for 12 months, tax-free, could be in your bank account. But not only that, we also have a whole tech bundle worth £8,000. You want to check out what's in here. You'll be queen of the kitchen with the ninja stuff. You'll be queen or king of the household with the Shark appliances. You get a nice hairdo there. There's an air fryer. There's a £1,000 John Lewis voucher. Lots of Apple gadgets as well. I mean, there's everything you could possibly need. And obviously, don't forget that £72,000 cash. What would you do with it? You could do whatever you wanted. If you want to win all this, you have to be in the competition. Here are all the details.
For another chance to win, text WIN to 86060. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY12 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines closed tomorrow at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Good luck with that. There's still time to enter till 3 p.m. tomorrow. Now, earlier on, I did promise our studio audience a lovely prize, didn't I? It's not cash. I'm so sorry. But every single one of you is going to get one of these, a Whittards of Chelsea salted caramel hot chocolate. We are so generous here at ITV. That's what they want.
Thank you so much, Jenny. A pleasure to have you in the studio. Now, earlier this year, Gavin and Stacey fans across the land shouted, I'm going to do it again, what's occurring? There we are.
Very good.
When rumours... I'm not doing it again. When rumours of a new special reuniting the cast began to circulate. Well, before we have a little Gavin and Stacey reunion of our own, here's a reminder of why we all love the show so much.
We're getting married in Wales.
We're getting married in Barry.
I don't think so.
Wow.
We are, Mum.
Oh, no, you're not. Mick, tell him.
Look, let's talk about this tomorrow.
Well, what's the matter with Barry?
Barry Island? Oh, we're going to have the wedding reception on the log flumes.
Oh, we don't live on the actual island.
Don't worry about the honeymoon, just go to Butlins.
Come on, Pam, shush. If that's what they want, that's what we'll do.
I'm going for the smoke. Michael, I am not traipsing the best side of my family all the way down to Wales to see my son, my only son, get married in some dirty fairground.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joe's TV father-in-law, Larry Love. Oh, it's so good to see you, darling. Oh, sweetheart, so lovely to see you.
Wow.
Well.
What is occurring?
You're occurring.
Well, they're not telling us for sure.
Can I ask the question? Because I've spent about 10 years being asked. Do you ever think there'll be any more Gavin and Stacey?
Definitely not.
Oh, no,
If I had to bet right now, I'd say not.
Oh,
But I'm not very good at gambling, so...
What's it like, though? Because, honestly, watching that clip just reminds me of just how much I enjoyed it when it was out, right? It's such classic TV, it was, you know? And in so many ways, I don't think that's been matched. What's it like for you both, but you first, Larry, to watch that back?
Well, it's just like you're trying to remember. I'm trying to remember the scenes. That's always with me because I love that scene where you're doing so and so, and I can't remember them. You know, they just all blend into this family life that we all existed amongst and have been a part of ever since. So it's just like watching something that you are really a part of and that you're very, very fond of, and it's a lovely thing to sort of have a look at, you know? Yeah. Not like those terrible home movies where you think, oh, my God, what did I look like? I think it's easier if you're playing someone else.
Well, you still look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Can you remember when you first both met, when you first started doing the show? What was that moment like? We wouldn't have met until the very first morning we read it all around a table in Soho somewhere. Yes. And you know, we were just... Everybody was being introduced to everybody, you know? So it was like everybody... The only person that wasn't there was Rob Brydon. He couldn't make it that day. Yeah. So it's like... It was a very memorable thing because... It's when we all realised what we were involved with, because as we started to read it, having just read it ourselves individually, what was going on was you begin to realise.
I remember I wore a yellow top and a yellow cardigan because I wanted to create an impression of just being really nice and friendly. It's kind of ridiculous.
Did it work?
I think it did.
You think Larry, does it work?
Oh, God. You know, and does it feel like a really beautiful experience to have been a part of for both of you?
Yeah. I mean, without doubt. I mean, all the things that I've ever done in my career over the years, you know, so many baddies, so many this, but to finish up as a part of this iconic comedy series was just something that never ever occurred to me that it might happen at all.
It's so cool.
It's really.
How about you, Jo? What does it mean to you?
Oh, it's just so lovely. I mean, looking back on that and then seeing Larry today, and some jobs, you know, they're jobs. You go and do the job and then you finish and you don't really see anybody again, or, you know. But with that job, even if we haven't seen each other for years, we go back in the same room and it's like we're all like a family.
Is there a group chat then? That's what I
we got to
know.
Yeah, we got... I mean, it's pretty sparse.
But
every now and then something goes on, doesn't it?
Now and again, like about 2 or 3 months, and something will come out on it, you know.
Because it's hard to stay in touch when everyone's got their individual careers outside the show.
Everybody's come from their lives, and their lives are busy, and then they go back to their lives when, you know, the last time we did it, you know. I don't think I've seen anybody... Well, this is the first time I've seen you.
Last time I saw you was on telly when I was doing the voiceover for your show with Alison.
Oh, right.
When you went all the way down to Barry.
That's it.
I could barely do the voiceover because I was like, oh, my gosh, look, aren't they lovely?
I want to go.
But you've been writing a book now, haven't you?
I have been writing a book, yeah. I have been writing a book. The thing is that when I came into this business from the outside world, I've been working in the oil business, and it took me, 20 years to realise there were similar jobs in this industry, but they're all working backstage. And my job was basically to take a group of good guys out who were building power lines out in Canada, and that was my job. But you're responsible for taking them, making sure they've got everything they need, making sure they get paid, make sure they get fed, make sure everything's running. And there's a job just like that in our industry, and it's the first assistant director. And I always wanted to write a story, I always saw it as a film, about the life of a first assistant director and all the people that work with them, but not the actors. And when I was writing it, I kept thinking, I've got to start writing something about actors now. And it was the toughest thing, was writing about actors and writing and putting words into the mouths of actors. Whereas the ordinary crew, most of the people that I work with, in this business are just like me. They come from the world and they go out and they make films.
So do you think this is going to be the next stage in your career, a writer?
I doubt it.
Oh.
You're not selling the book.
I doubt it.
Sales are just good.
Oh, no.
It's about your experiences in the 80s, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it is. And the thing is that I so enjoyed it, but it's another whole world, and getting it published and then following it through and selling it, it's another world. And, as you get older, you just think, God, do I have the energy? And it was very fortunate because somebody dared me to do it. They said, you've got to be able to fictionalise some of this amazing life that you've lived. And I said, no, I can't. And then I thought, you know what? There's that story about the first assistant director. And this was just as the COVID was kicking off. And I just started. And I just...
Have you finished it?
Yeah, I finished it 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And, of course, then you've got to, rewrite, do this, do that, do that.
Well, writing a book is not easy in any shape or form. And I tell you what, anything written in your voice will just be beautiful and hilarious and relatable. We can't get enough of you, Larry Lamb. That's the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Lamb. Very quickly, then, if you were asked to go back, would you go? Yes or no?
Oh, definitely.
How about you, Larry?
To go back, would we go?
Absolutely.
There we go. Yes! Right, that's it from us. Tomorrow, Gorka and Graziano will be here, and Naughty's pop legend Daniel Bedingfield. We'll see you then. Bye.